And joining me here in Dallas is the acting deputy commissioner at CBP, Ron Vitiello. Ron, it's good to see you. Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me.
What am I hearing? I'm hearing the president talk more, but not for the first time, about Mexico. Are we expecting, or should we anticipate at some point in the not too distant future, the United States to take action against the drug cartels in Mexico?
I think you're seeing action taken against these drug cartels, right? In the Caribbean and the Southern Pacific, where these drug boats are getting annihilated by our U.S. military. So you're seeing the will of this president and his influence over the world, and including in Mexico, how they're going to do more and are doing more than we've ever seen before.
That includes, as we just heard, on land in Mexico?
Well, on land, you have a 95% reduction in illegal activity in between the ports that the Border Patrol is seeing every day. So that's almost 100% increase in the capability on, like in the first days of this administration. That capability increases every single day, right? More hours on patrol, more equipment to sense activity. All of those things are leading to a safer border. And this policy change with no releases in over 13 months at the border of people that came in illegally.
Well, and the numbers reflect that success. I made a call before the start of our show asking about the price of cocaine at the southern border of the United States, which currently sits somewhere between $12,000 and $15,000 a kilo. Some 3 years ago, that same kilo would have run about $8,000. So the increased price suggests a decreased supply, or it's more difficult now to get cocaine into America.
That's exactly right. More airplanes in the air, more sensors on the ground, more agents on patrol, and then you have like our awareness of what happens in the littorals outside of San Diego and Brownsville, as well as in Florida.
All right, I want to move to this as well. There's this, Ron, there's this controversy here with illegal immigrants having conducted fraud in the food stamp program. Now, 11 of 15 of those charged in this $1.4 million food stamp fraud program were illegal immigrants. Here's what we know. 15 individuals, 11 of them illegal aliens, charged in $1.4 million SNAP benefit, disability, and unemployment benefit fraud. Here's Colin McDonald, AAG of the Fraud Division.
American citizens were boxed out of these programs because illegal aliens took their names to then take their money, or more accurately, your money, the American taxpayers' money. Illegal immigration carries real and substantial costs to American taxpayers.
On one hand, Ron, it's good to see accountability, to see justice. On another hand, I don't think that comes as a shock to anybody watching. I think they understand the cost of illegal immigration. I don't think they're surprised that identification or social security numbers or the beneficiaries of welfare programs are being used by illegal immigrants.
Yeah, it's a continuation of the victimization of the American people, right? These people come over here without our permission, without being invited, without being properly vetted, and they take advantage of the safety net that's provided for American citizens. And yeah, a lot of people know that, but this president, the policies that are being enacted, the leadership that's at CBP, the Department of Homeland Security, ICE, et cetera, there's no tolerance for this kind of illegal activity. The Justice Department put an assistant attorney general in charge of this particular problem. And so combating fraud at this level, at every level, and as it relates to illegal immigration, a will across the government to make that stop, to have the entirety of the government focused on securing the border and having an immigration system that allows the American people to choose the benefits of it, not individuals.
And quickly here at the end, we haven't heard about it, talked about it in a bit of time here, but the administration's approach to continued deportation of illegal immigrants, any change or still what we've seen for the first part of this administration?
No, we're on plan to make sure that the border is secure and stays secure, no releases in over 13 months, and then in the interior finding people starting with the worst of the worst, and everybody that's in the country illegally needs to be aware that they're being looked for by ICE agents.
All right. Ron Vitiello, thanks so much for being with us here today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. All right, coming up.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.